So let's talk for a moment about your biggest enemy. It's you. Um, you probably know this. I think most people do. But if you let it, your brain will go to all the dark places, in like any situation. When it never really needs to. Sometimes it does. Don't get me wrong, but um, your brain can really jack you up, and a part of it has to do with TV and books and magazines and all these things like, hey, if somebody sends you something funny or looks at you in a weird way, like it's something negative, something's going on, they're talking about you. And you create this reality. You can really create this reality that is built on nothing. It might be built on a miscommunication, like in a text, which is horrible, right? Like the text of social media, like if you don't phrase it the right way, people can take it wrong, and they will. A lot of people will. Um, and miscommunications are, you know, they they're the genesis of how many issues, where all it took was to talk to somebody and just ask them to explain things a little bit. Just say, hey, this came off weird. Can I talk to you about it? And then it just turned out to be a miscommunication, or they didn't mean it to come out that way. Um, and it's if you let your brain do it, your brain will take you down to dark places, you know. And the biggest way that I have found to combat that is, we go back to, one of the first videos I was talking to you guys about, but just figuring yourself out and what makes you sad and what makes you angry and what makes you frustrated. Why do you get worried about things? Should you, in the perspective and the grand scheme of things, and being comfortable there with yourself, like that's your world. You are your world. Um, and then you have your galaxy and universe around you. So be comfortable in your world and know where your weaknesses are and your strengths are, and then work on your weaknesses. And maybe not take things so hard, or think things through. And maybe it's a miscommunication, and talking to people. And if you can think about that and then approach people, that's the next step, is executing, right? Like if you think things are negative and you don't approach people and talk to them about it, they'll always be negative. Like your brain will always create that cage for you. And then you just got to reach out and talk to people, and again, you break down a lot of those walls, and you realize that cage is a figment of your own imagination, a lot of the times, if you just talk to people. And that's where we lose touch with, things. And, like, well, I heard this and I heard that. Well, go talk to that person, and get it from the horse's mouth. And if you do disagree on something, then great. Agree to disagree on something, or have a conversation and talk about it and figure out a solution or a compromise. But don't stew in your own juices of negativity and like, oh, I feel horrible because I'm stressing about this, and I think this person is doing this, and I think this person is doing that. Build yourself, you know, some optimism, and some objectivity, and the ability to talk to people about things and break that stuff down. The world is a much easier place to walk through if you just approach people and talk to them, because your brain does want to go negative, and you see it in, like I said, you see it in all the media and the shows and everything and movies, and there's always like an underlying, like evil cause, in the background, and sometimes there's not. There just isn't. But your brain will go that way because sometimes it's been trained to. Don't let it. Just think it through. Take a big breath. Remember breaths. Always go back to one. Big, deep breath. And just think about it. And think about where it could be instead of just the negative. Like, okay, maybe they meant it this way, or maybe they meant it that way, and then go talk to them. It will save you so much stress and anxiety and frustration, and just allow you to approach things differently. Um, it's a life changer. So don't let your brain be your own worst enemy. Train it to support you and help you, and just allow yourself to engage with people and figure things out. And really good things can come from that. It's just talking to people, and people appreciate it if you approach them, because they don't want to be wondering why you don't talk to them anymore or what's going on, and they haven't figured it out, because you didn't tell them, you didn't say anything. So just go talk to them. Your world will be better. Okay, But yeah, practice that. Take the big deep breath and go do it. All right. Okay. I love you guys. Bye.